you're a lawyer, no matter what you're doing, you got to keep the use in mind.
Yeah.
Right. Because one of the things you noted on here is you're not just handing out cards. I've seen that to where, there's people at a convention or whatever, and they're walking around and they're just
handing them out.
Just handing people's business cards, right? And it's like there's no conversation, there's no nothing.
You need to have people connect to you. You still have to build a relationship with them. Like you said, if they're just going around handing around, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I didn't talk to that person. Like, no point to keep that. Hey everybody, welcome to the FIP Printing Pros podcast. And today, I apologize. I am Josh Dynison, your host. I forgot that part. And this is my co-host, Chris Lockwood.
What's going on?
And today we're going to be talking about how to make business cards work for you the best. I know that's a thing that everybody typically has, or I guess, some people got the new touch stuff, but everybody in a business, especially if you're going to be networking and all that kind of stuff, you should have some type of business card to hand out or some way to connect with somebody and give out your information.
When you brought this topic up, I started thinking about my first business cards I ever had. I was 16.
You got business cards at 16 years old?
I got business cards at 16. I was mowing yards. And so I didn't have a printer. I'm going to date myself a little bit. We didn't have a computer at my house. My girlfriend had one. So I went over there and we went to, I don't know, whatever local store had stock paper or whatever.
Yep.
And we printed out these horrible business cards. They were in black and white. There was no color printers and all that kind of stuff.
Was it really like flimsy material?
Oh yeah, it was really flimsy. It was like this, But it was business card stock because it had the perforated edges. So you could tear them apart and all that. But then it had the little rough edges all the way around. But those were my business cards. And let me tell you, I thought I was the shit then, boy.
Hey, you got to grind, however you got to get it to make it happen, right?
I had a truck, a trailer, a lawnmower, and some business cards, and I was ready to go at it. So I hadn't thought about that in forever until we brought this topic up.
I'm trying to think. My first business cards honestly wasn't for a while because I was in the military, and then I was at I was security for a while at a treatment center, and then. So there for a while, you didn't need business cards for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess when you were recruiting, obviously you probably had business cards.
Oh, I went through thousands of cards, and they were actually surprisingly pretty decent. And we're going to kind of get into the different styles and everything here in a minute. But the first ones I got in 2003, they were okay. But then when we changed the logo, or we went to the Army of One for that little amount of time, which was just great marketing. They had the raised letters, so it was glossy, and it had the raised Army star emblem and letters.
The Army spent money on that?
Yep. So, which was a surprise. I'm saying it was a surprise because those stood out.
Yeah.
But I think it all had to do with the new branding and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what they look like now, but yeah, they upgraded.
I don't even know what the Army's motto is anymore.
We're back to Be All You Can Be.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they finally realized after 25 plus years that they
stick with it.
Yeah, let's go with something that works.
Army Strong was good until you saw some of the people that were in the military that weren't so strong looking.
Yep.
One thing that obviously when this topic came up to discuss, I thought. I don't even have it on my notes to talk about or anything, but is we've talked about this before when we've talked about business cards when we've gone to these conventions and things like that. And one of the reasons why I highly recommend somebody to have a business card to hand out if you're networking or going to a convention or anything like that is because at the end of that convention, those people have talked to so many different people, and it is very hard to. They can remember a conversation, but remembering names is very hard when you're meeting 10 to 15 to 20 plus people. Mm-hmm. So having that, what I do is I just, after I talk to somebody, they give me a business card, slide in my pocket. So at the end of the day, at least if I see the card and I can see the company, oh yeah, that's the person I was talking to, I can have that remembrance. Whereas We had some people that came up to us at one of the conventions, where actually a couple people that did the whole tap thing, to where they put the digital stuff where it puts it on your phone. It's all well and great, which first of all, I think one of them didn't work, or maybe both.
One of them did. I don't think either one of them worked.
The first one, he had to do it a couple times, and then it did work. But then the second one, I don't think he could get it to work at all. And they didn't have business cards to give us, so we couldn't even follow up with them. But the hard part with the digital ones is, like I said, yeah, that's in my phone now, and that's great. But I have well over 1,000 contacts in my phone.
Same, yeah.
And so even if I remember. Again, I didn't even remember their name. So like, it could be Sally, it could be whatever. So like now, like I don't know who to go search for in my phone. And you know, I will say, just also as a tip, if somebody does do that and give you a digital, what we decided we're going to do in the future is make a quick note in our notes and write their name down, and then that way we can know who to reference back to. But
the digital cards have to be done right too, and we're going to talk about doing your business cards right. But even the digital ones have to be done right. I saw one the other day, and they went far beyond just the contact. It had links to their website. It actually had a short video that played within. I don't know if it was a link to a video or whatever, but it was a video that was linked to that business card process, digital business card process. And it basically said, hey, this is who I am. It was like a quick elevator pitch. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But again, it's still the problem of
how do
I remember that it was? So my advice to anybody who's doing a digital business card, I think that's awesome. I think do it. But right behind that, go, and just so you don't forget who I am and forget who that contact is that shows up in your phone, here's my physical card.
Yep.
So that you'll remember.
Yep.
Now you've got two things, and nobody's going to forget that.
Yeah.
Right. And so.
And you don't even have to, like, because we're going to get into, like, you can get into specialties on the cards and stuff like that. But if you're doing the digital, you don't have to go crazy with probably the specialty on the card. If you're going to hand out as an extra, you can just go super cheap. Now, I wouldn't go like flimsy, like you're talking about.
Don't print it out on your printer at home.
Yeah.
Perforated paper.
Don't do like the super flimsy, like copy paper type thing, or anything. But still, you can get regular business cards for fairly cheap.
Yeah, just standard business cards. Yeah.
So, but that's one thing I wanted to kind of point out, because that has always been a frustration of mine, and not just even as a printer. This is before I was a printer, when they were first coming out. The technology back then was definitely not very well, and it definitely didn't work very well as far as like transferring over and everything. It's now a lot better, but even still, like I said, we had issues with those two guys that were trying to give us their information. So
and you want to have the backup, because if your transfer was an NFC, isn't turned on your phone, you got a case that doesn't let it come through. There's 1,000 reasons that you want to have the backup just in case that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So. Now, when it comes to the actual business card, physical business card, what you want to stand out for the good reasons, not for the bad, not because you printed it out at home because you couldn't afford $50 to go buy business cards. So, in your mind, as the printer, what are some different options that help cards stand out?
So, I think the biggest thing that makes you stand out is the design of the business card. And what I mean by that is, like you said, originally on your year one, when you were 16 years old, you just did regular standard black text, black, maybe a logo. If you had a logo, it's probably just black.
No, there was
no logo. Okay.
I think we found like some little ridiculous looking lawnmower or something we put in the corner.
Well, yeah, but so what I'm saying is, you very, very basic, nothing that kind of really just stands out. And what I would say is, even if we'll get into more of the specialty like feels and stuff, if you don't have that, just the eye catching stuff of like a color, like full color design of it will catch my eye when somebody hands it to me to make me look at it. Whereas if somebody hands me a bland white card with black text, and don't get me wrong, we do a lot of printing of that, and that's fine if that's what people want. Some businesses, it probably
I think it has to fit the business too.
So
right?
like, yeah. I think of like a car dealership. Okay, they're already there at your dealership, trying to get a car or whatever, and talking to you. So like, they're not necessarily needing to stand out in the crowd because they're already there. They're already talking with you. They're gonna know like it's gonna have your company logo on it. That doesn't have to be crazy design if you don't really want to. Where I think it matters is you're going to a networking event where you grab 10 to 20 cards from a networking event. You want to be the one that somehow stands out in that crowd that draws that attention to when you're going back rifling through them.
Yeah, I think your profession draws. I like the example of the car dealership, and what popped in my head, the opposite would be like a realtor.
Yeah.
So when you walk into a house that's for sale, there's 100 realtor cards there. So what I like about what realtors do is a lot of them put their picture on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So now I can remember that person. And I mean, honestly, like you're talking about at the events, the networking events, maybe that's a good idea to have your picture on it there, regardless of what it is. So, but then another example to where I do like I think the more elegant and simple design are like law offices or doctors. They don't need to be busy like the realtor. I think the more simplistic, I don't know what to cut. Maybe it's like an ivory color. I've seen them. They're really nice feel to it. Ivory.
It's like a linen or something like that.
So those are a simple design as opposed to like the car dealership, like you said, just their name, their phone number, like it doesn't need. And then the realtor's got the real nice, fancy, glossy picture and their photo on and all that kind of stuff. So I think in the design portion, it needs to fit what the message you're trying to say.
Yeah.
And also fit with your occupation. Because I could see a lawyer with a bright card like that would not be taken seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
They
need professional, very it's very depending on the business and what they're trying to put out there. Obviously for us, I mean, we're trying to be colorful,
to be flashy,
flashy, putting it out there. But yeah, so that's design is in my opinion, that's the biggest thing that you want to pay attention to. And then number two, I would say what you could do to add a different element to it is, especially nowadays, QR codes. And you could have that linked to your website. You could have it linked to maybe it's a landing page to get their information to fill out to get something free sent to them or whatever it is, like whatever you're trying to promote. Or it's a QR code to take them to a free offer of some kind, not even free, a discounted offer, whatever it is.
It could also be a QR code that uploads your information into their phone.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing.
It is.
It is? Okay, yeah, so then perfect, yeah. So then that would be another thing. It's going along on the digital route, you could put that on your physical one that you're handing out to them just in case if it didn't go through or whatever. Yeah. And then along with that, what I've done on mine is like a picture of basically all the different things I can do. So on ours, we got, all of our promotional items, our apparel, our signs, banners, and printed goods. Basically, that's what I kind of put on the back of ours, Now, some people, there's just different elements, and that's really to kind of utilize the back side, because usually your front side is name, company name, phone number, email website, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. The back side is what you can use for all the extra stuff, the QR codes, the pictures of what you offer, or different elements. Maybe it's a discount. Maybe a lot of doctors' offices, dentists, on the back side, they do an appointment card.
Appointment card, yep.
So it's a dual. It's a business card and an appointment card.
If you want to leverage different print and promotional products for your company but don't know how to go about doing it, click the link below and let's schedule a free strategy session with me, and I'd love to help you guys out. Look forward to talking with you.
And I've also seen some, and I would imagine people could get, not saying you have to, but they could get different cards for different purposes.
Yeah.
Because I have seen some at networking events specifically that have a place on the back. It says notes or something like that, and it's got the lines.
Yeah.
So if you're doing networking, like you could set it up to say, hey, here's, on the back of my card if you need to take notes. Now that's an extra conversation piece too.
Yeah, and another thing that I believe it was Carrie that was on here with Gentiva Hospice. I think he said this is what they do. They will have, when they go to these conferences or networking events or whatever, they have, if it's not specifically representing like one person, they have to be a generic for the company.
Yeah, we have those too. I found out.
Yeah, they have generic cards for the company with a generic email and all that kind of stuff, rather than an individual stuff, so that they know when somebody brings that card or reference that card or something like that, that it came from a conference, so that they know how to, like, I guess, allocate that person. So that's another thing that some businesses, I do know we do that for other businesses too. So, but that's definitely something to talk about there. You can also put, as far as the QR code or something, link it to reviews. So if you want more reviews, you can do stuff like that.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a big one, to give people the opportunity, the option to do that.
Yeah. And that just helps. We've talked about this as well in other podcasts, where even if it ends up being a bad review, at least you have an opportunity to, like, try to put in the comments to, like a response of what you did to try to, because obviously for us, like, it's a human element in printing. There's going to be things that mistakes do happen from time to time, but we always make sure everything we possibly can to make up for those mistakes, that do unfortunately happen from time to time. And so if somebody just gets upset because unfortunately there was a human mistake that happened along the way, and just give us a bad review just because of that, but not taking into account what we did to fix it, then at least we can comment and reply.
You got a chance to explain yourself.
And explain, yes, unfortunately this did happen. It did get messed up. However, we immediately that same day reprinted these and got them to you, or something, whatever.
Yeah. Conveniently leave out that we fixed whatever the problem was.
Yeah.
So now the physical card itself, you got different materials, you have different cuts, you have different, what all for the physical card do you need to consider?
So there's many different elements you can really kind of take into account, where you can do plastic cards, you can do metal cards, you can do you get like the sandwich ones where you have like the tops, or the top and bottom are black or white or whatever, but the middle is a different color. Like, there's different things. Soft touch, which is more like a velvety feel. And then like on ours, it's got like this, our hair is a raised UV. You could do foil. You could do, there's so many different things. And why I think that matters is because that helps you stand out, like we talked about with the design, but the feel, the look, the difference, like, the heavy dutiness or whatever, if you're doing like a metal or plastic or whatever. But then also, like with yours, rounded corners, or one of our customers, they have a heart as their logo. It's a part of their logo, and we actually
the top of the card kind of has a heart.
We die cut the heart at the top and then square it out off of that, and so you can do die cut stuff like that too.
Yeah. So one of the most memorable cards that has stood out to me over the years is for a chiropractor's office, and we print, or we do them. It's here in town.
What is it? Say
alignment.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyway.
Align Life, yeah.
Align Life, there you go.
Yeah,
Thank you. So their cards, they have the velvet touch, but I think or it might not be, but I do remember, and I don't know if they did this intentionally or not. I like to think they were smart enough to do that. But along the right-hand side of the card is the spine, right?
Oh, okay.
And it's raised. So when you're holding the card in your right hand,
you feel that.
You feel it with your thumb. Like, it's natural to hold the card like that when you're looking at it. And so all the information is over here, and you can feel that spine. And that stands out.
Yep.
And, to me, that's always been something that was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's, it's memorable.
They do something similar with their, like, mugs. it's on the handle. It's like a spine.
See, that's genius.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, that type of stuff, you're going to remember clearly that's the chiropractor place.
Now, in terms of cost, right? Because that's always a concern. If I was to get just your basic business card, I get it designed nice. I'm not doing anything fancy. What's the average number per order? And just an average cost. I know there's going to be some variation there for design and stuff like that, but just for the cards themselves.
Yeah, because once you design it, it's pretty much one time it's done. So even in large companies, just switching out a name and stuff is very minimal.
Yeah.
But usually a standard business card, again, is like maybe $40-$50 for $250. And then the larger you go up quantity wise is not make it that much difference. Like I think it's like from doubling from $250 to $500, it's like an extra $5 to $10, and then like doubling $500 to $1,000 is like another $10 to $15. Like again, so it's not like crazy. It's not like you're 50-50-50 every time you bump it up. Like the higher your quantity you go, like
the less per card is going to cost you. Yeah,
and then you go into the specialties. I would say like just a soft touch probably comes close to doubling that. And then maybe if you add in like ours, the raised UV, maybe like a little over double, maybe 2.5 or something like that, times something like that. And then when you get in the metals, now you're talking, I don't know, it's a lot higher.
Money,
like, so, and even plastics, maybe double at the, whatever. It just really depends. I'd have to, you're obviously, I don't like quoting just like, I would say generalization. That's what I would say is probably roughly around that range.
Yeah. So for the people that are wondering like, well, why would I want to get expensive cards and stuff like that? Again, that goes back to what your purpose with it is and all that. So if you just need everyday business cards, you buy 1,000 of them for $75, give or take whatever. Mm-hmm. Now you have daily cards to hand out.
Yep. But
if you are going to go to, let's like in my case, right? So I do marketing for a home health company now. If it's just a daily, I'm just handing out business cards to potential clients, to stuff like that, I'm just going to give them just a regular business card. But if I'm going to an event where I'm meeting a bunch of doctors, a bunch of surgeons,
the people that are going to give you the referrals,
the people that are providing the referrals, I want them to remember me.
Yeah.
So I'll spend that extra money. I'll buy 250 of the really nice cards, but I'll only hand them out to those people.
Yep.
And I might not even hand those out to everybody. Only the ones that I feel like are going to be potential sources of referrals.
Yep.
So it's the same thing. Like if you're a lawyer, no matter what you're doing, you got to keep the use in mind.
Yeah.
Right. Because one of the things you noted on here is you're not just handing out cards. Like I've seen that to where, there's people at a convention or whatever, and they're walking around and they're just
handing them out.
Just handing people's business cards, right? And it's like there's no conversation, there's no nothing. So
you need to have people connect to you. You still have to build a relationship with them. Like just handing out a card just to hand out a card is, like you said, if they're just going around handing around and then at the end of the day I'm like, oh, I didn't talk to that person. Like, no point to keep that, They're going to remember. The whole point is for them to, when they're going back through their stack, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. We talked about XYZ, or whatever,
So I think there's something else that I would like to touch on and get your opinion on, because I noticed when you pulled your cards out, you had the little card wallet, and I just have mine in my pocket, right? And when I'm looking at this one, I've probably been carrying this card around in my pocket with like 20 others for about a week, and it's starting to fray the edges.
Yeah,
just a little bit, right? And I think I brought this up to you because someone else brought it up to me. How important or what message does it send when someone just pulls a business card out of their pocket versus if they have some kind of case, like yours is FIP branded. I've seen some that are leather. The one I really want's a wood case. It's really cool. I like it just, because I like working with wood. So that kind of serves two purposes too. But what are your thoughts on the cases?
So the reason why I like to do this, just like you said, if that just sits in your pocket, first of all, it's going to get bent, creased, and fade over time. Things are rubbing up against your keys, whatever, or just general movement in when you're walking. And we're in Florida. It's hot, so and then your body's hot. Like between the two, like it's just naturally not good for to be in your pocket. And
someone a leg sweaty business card.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you even think about it, like, okay, so I probably have, even by my wallet, just ones I've had probably some stuff over time in here. Actually, this one stayed pretty good but that's because I have soft touch. So like these do hold true a lot longer, the color. But let's see, those are my wife's cards. But you can see even at the bottom of her cards, like
it's bent,
bent, and then like it's even like kind of fading down here. But like that stuff, it's not naturally meant to be in an environment where at least this, yes, this is in the environment technically, but it's like protected in here.
Yeah.
So I won't hand out the front card, ever. So that's basically my placement one, and everything slides behind it. Because that one over time is more part of the elements, and it does sometimes over time.
It molds to it, right? Because it gets stuck. Yeah,
it gets stuck, and so I always pull from the back side when I give somebody out, so it's more of a fresher card.
Well, so you got the protection aspect of it, but I also think that and as I sit here talking about it, I just got mine shoved in my pocket right now. That's another movement that's more memorable. When someone pulls out a nice case or some kind of case to pull the business card out, because every little thing you can do that helps people remember.
Yeah,
and if you have a nice case, that could even be a conversation piece. We got a buddy of mine. It was a DeWalt business card case, and I mean it was big, like it was huge. But it looks like a little miniature DeWalt case. So it's really cool. Had his name on it and all that kind of stuff. Now, it's something you can't put in your pocket and do, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But if he's at an event and he does paintings and stuff like that, that business card case, when he's got his setup, is going to be something people are going to remember.
Yeah.
So.
And just it also can give off I care.
Yeah.
That not to say that you don't care because it's in your pocket. I'm not saying that, but in some people's minds, it might give more of that vibe that he cares, he's meticulous, he cares, or she, that they're actually gonna try to keep it protected to hand out, little things like that might stick in somebody's brain.
Or people see that case and like, wow, that's a really cool business card case. Where'd you get that?
Yep.
Just anything you can use as a conversation piece. I like the fact that the FIP ones look like the business card.
Yeah.
So then it's like, it serves that purpose as well as being an advertisement itself.
Yep. So. And, a company can print those out. Now you have to get higher quantities and see I just slowly, over time, these do wear and tear.
Yeah.
So I just switch them out and, you can get the more heavy duty ones where you don't have to worry about it though. But yeah, I would say pretty much to end it off is, I would say, think about the business cards that you have, that you receive, what stands out to you, and try to mimic it. I didn't tell you this, I don't think. So I actually got to meet the owner of Chick-fil-A last week, or 2 weeks ago.
Like the big CEO?
The owner, not just franchise owner, the guy. And it was a lot of people around him. So like, I tried not to totally bombard him. Everybody else was just kind of saying hi to him and like, thank you for what you do type of thing.
Thank you for making chicken.
Yeah. Well, I think it was, so this was at church.
Oh, okay.
It was a church event. And so
thank you for not making chicken on Sunday.
So I think it was more of a thank you for what you stand for type of thing, and I came at him, instead of saying that, I was like, hey, I'm a young entrepreneur and I'm looking to grow my business. What advice would you give me to grow to the levels that you've grown? And I could see his eyes light up differently compared to like the other people just thanking him for things, you know. He was like, oh, entrepreneur, you know, like,
yeah.
And he basically told me, he said, just find people in your industry that are doing it to the level that you would. I mean, I listen, I'm never going to be a Vistaprint or anything like that. First of all, if I ever got to that level, I would sell off way before then.
Yeah, right.
I'm just gonna be honest. but to say that's the goal is people like that, your 4 imprints and whatever. He said, look to those, what they're doing, and just copy. He said,
that's good advice.
He's like, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Like, that's already working for them. Just do it.
And do it better.
And do it better. He did actually say that. And try to do it better if you can. Yeah. And that was his advice to me. And
I wish he would take over traffic control. I wish he would do that better for the city.
Oh yeah, for sure. But where was I going with that? I don't even know why.
I'm sure you're going to allude. Did he have, you're talking about business cards and that kind of thing. Did he give you one, or what did he?
No, I don't know why I got onto that. Why it matters. Oh, no, I got it. I know why. Because he said, see what works for other people and mimic that. Yeah. So where I was going with that was, when you're receiving these cards, what stands out to you? What is the thing that made you rethink about that person, about when you see that business card, or make them stand out? Is it the feel of it? Is it the design of it? Is it the color? Like, what is it? Was it them showing all the products they had on the back? Like, whatever it was that made it stand out to you, just recreate it for you.
Yeah, I love that. That's great advice.
Yeah. So,
all right. I think that should wrap this one up then.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. If you liked what you heard, subscribe to us. And then every Wednesday, we always put out an episode. And thanks for watching. And until next time, let's grow together.
It's time to step up. Yeah, it's grind time. No more letting up. No, running faster, further. No more running up. Yeah, giving my all. No more giving up. Listen to me. Step. It's time to step it up. Yeah, it's time to step it up. Step. It's time to step it up. Yeah, it's time to step it up. It's time to step up.